Briargate is one of the most talked about places in Colorado Springs, but it begs the question, is it actually worth living in?
Has everybody just been saying the same stuff over and over and over?
From shopping
to dining to your neighborhood bar and a little bit of everything in between, Briargate has a little bit of something for everyone.
So today we're going to answer the question, is Briargate overrated, or is it one of the most desirable places to live in all of Colorado Springs? Be sure to stay tuned for the entire video because some of these insights might shock you.
All right, you guys. So we are out here in the absolutely stunning little area in Briargate. It is probably one of the most asked about communities, areas that we get with real estate.
Yeah, if you've been thinking about moving to Colorado Springs, Briargate is one of the hottest topics that you can possibly imagine. So today we want to walk you through, what does Briargate look like? What does the housing look like? The shopping, the dining, the everything that is to do with Briargate community.
And as you guys know, I'm Crystal, this is Sean, and we are your local real estate agents here to help guide you if you are relocating here to Colorado Springs. So let's dive into it.
So let's start off with where we're at, the windy area today of the Promenade Shops at Briargate. There's so much to do here. If you're in the Briargate area or thinking about moving to the Briargate area, this is a must-stop shop. They have Nike, they have Apple, they have Ulta, they have Ted's Montana Grill, they have PF Chang's, they have so many different places to shop, whether you're looking for things to purchase or places to eat or just a good entertainment area. We recently went to My Neighbor Felix, which is probably the newest restaurant here, if I had to take a guess.
Yeah, probably.
And aesthetically, completely beautiful. If you like Mexican food, you know that Mexican food's always going to be good here in the Colorado Springs area. So definitely a spot that I would suggest stopping.
And we just ate lunch at Ted's Montana Grill, which, and it was great, you guys. Little bit like dollar-wise-ish, probably like what, like a $2 or $3, like, it was what, like $100 for both of us.
I'm like, what is your $2 or $3?
I'll just say that. It was $100 for both of us, and that was just for like a lunch, very quick type thing. So
we did have a drink each. I did have a 14-ounce ribeye with 2 sides, so that's actually not a bad deal. 14-ounce ribeye, 2 sides, it was $45, I think, for just that. And then Crystal sadly got a kid's meal, so I didn't even film it.
But it was good. It was good. And I got a dirty martini, and that was delicious.
So Ted's Montana Grill is an interesting one. It's like not fine dining, but it's not like Texas Roadhouse. It's somewhere in between. But if you're in the Briargate area, it's probably going to be one of your spots that you go to for sure. They have a small bar area. They have booth seating. They have little tabletops. So it's a good little spot.
Well, and I think, because we're talking about Briargate, where we're at right now is probably like the most known area. And you guys know we kind of dog on our shopping here in Colorado Springs because, let's be honest, it's not that good. But this little shopping center is so cute, and you can get, a little bit, they have a Lululemon, like it's a little bit more higher end. Like we don't have that like in our malls and stuff like that. So it is a nice little area. And as you can see, well, aside from the lovely wind, you guys,
hopefully you can hear us.
It's a beautiful little, like you can go walk around, you can come here, sit, have some water, do kind of a little bit of everything and anything. And that's just one reason why I think people are so gravitated towards Briargate, is because it is this kind of cute little, so much to do, hot, like a little bit higher end type area that people are attracted to.
Yeah, and speaking of like the shopping and dining experience, we are in the Promenade Shops at Briargate, one of the most, I would say, known areas, but you do have the Chapel Hills Mall not too far away. Now, I'm not a huge fan necessarily of the Chapel Hills Mall, especially since we've gone to other states and experienced crazy malls. I've been to the Mall of America. We've been to tons of malls in Texas and Florida. And that to me is a mall experience. Like what I see in the movies when you're, 8 years old and it's Christmas morning and the malls are going crazy. So we don't have the greatest malls, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. Well, and I think too, when we're talking about location where Briargate's at, right? That is a nice thing, is that you do have a mall. Not very good one, but it is there. They have a collective, I think that there's a gym in there now, right?
They've had a gym,
and then they have the pickleball stuff. We've talked about that before in our videos. And if you haven't watched that video, go back several of them and watch them. But it is nice, you guys, because you're within like 15 minutes to pretty much anything. The hospitals, huge hospitals. The hospitals, the malls, the shopping, the food, way better food areas. And like the cool thing too is that like you get mom and pop, like neighborhood bar restaurants, and then you get more name brand restaurants and stuff like that. And so it is kind of nice because you get a little bit of anything and everything. And it's very, very central. It's right there, smack dab, Briargate.
Yeah, there's a family here in town that owns, I think, 6 total restaurants, and you can get to 2 of them right here in Briargate. One of them is Back East Bar and Grill. Fun fact, we worked together at Lifetime, I don't know, 10 years ago or so.
You were just telling someone who was only like 4 or 5 years ago.
No way, it's 10 years ago at least. But when we worked at Lifetime, which is the gym that I currently go to, it's amazing. If you're in Briargate, Lifetime's right there. But that restaurant is family owned. And then what's the one right up the street that they open? Abby's Irish Pub. That's also in Briargate.
That's in Briargate.
They own Atmosphere Gastropub, which is just north on Interquest. That's probably my favorite of all of them. A little further north than that is Red Sunset Grill. They own that one. They own Red's in Peyton. So they own all these different restaurants. And when you go there, it's obvious because when you visit one of their restaurants, bars, it's just like you walk in and you know the bartenders, you know the people that are going there, you know the karaoke band or the karaoke people, you know the bands that are going to be performing. So it just makes you feel like you're going to a local spot versus just like a chain restaurant, which if you've heard us talk about Colorado Springs before, it's growing. You know, Colorado Springs is definitely growing, but you can still go. It's a little bit slower lifestyle. You can still find these mom and pop shops and you can still feel like you can go there and it's not nearly as transactional as some of the other bigger, well, really Denver's the only bigger city than us, but if you've ever been moving from out of state or in another state and you just feel like it's a transactional city, that's not going to be the Colorado Springs or Briargate region.
For sure. And then let's talk about kind of our parks in Briargate. Love them. There is a gigantic one. What is it called? I always forget.
I had to pull up some notes. Oh, John Venezia.
Yeah, I never could
where Sean used to play flag football, but retired after this season because she said it best.
Getting old, you guys.
One day on the field is not more important than 6 days in the gym. And I had injury after injury. It was stupid.
But one thing that I like about that park is I wouldn't say it's like new, but they definitely have like updated it. And you have soccer fields, you have football fields, you have playgrounds for
pickleball,
all ages. There's pickleball, there's not tents, park like picnic, canopy type things.
Covered seating, covered patio, big area though.
And so the cool thing about it is like you can go there, you can walk around. I mean, it's huge, so you can definitely get your miles in that way. You can watch your significant other play flag football.
Retired.
And demolish the other teams or, break his ankle or foot, whatever,
I didn't do that. That's Evan.
But we've had community events there and it's a really good, it's very, I hate to use the word clean, but like it just like is aesthetically like very nice.
Yeah, they even have like a little splash area for your kiddos and a playground. So one of my favorite things about it is that there are adults such as myself that go there and play and participate in whatever sports, football, soccer, whatever. But then it's built for ages as little as you can be playing sports to middle school to high school. And it's really cool to just see. Briargate is so family centric.
It is.
There is so much to do, and it doesn't really matter. Like the whole Briargate area, they just opened Dave & Buster's here, which is big. It was big in Denver forever, and they opened that maybe 2 or 3 years ago. There's just so many different things to do, whether you're looking to get out into nature or you're wanting to stay inside. Briargate is so family centric.
Well, and then to kind of just add in like a completely different like perspective too, we have a ton of corporate buildings. So offices are galore, but it's also different. Like it's not as though like you're like going into like downtown and everything is all corporate, right? It's really mixed in with like housing, shopping, corporate. And so you get like a really good mix of kind of everything. And I don't know, but maybe I love Briargate. I don't think I'd ever live in Briargate just because it's not like, won't say never. I don't really know if I would, but I do like when we come here, we can do anything and everything. Family friendly. Sean and I want to come out on a date night. We want to come with our friends. We want to go play flag football. Sean, AKA, can go play flag football. I will watch. It's an all around really, really good area.
I don't know why she wouldn't want to live in Briargate, because I totally would, but my reasons are the same as what they've always been.
Lifetime's like 2 seconds away.
Lifetime's 2 seconds away versus a 25 minute drive, which is great. But in addition to that, your proximity to I-25, your proximity to Powers Boulevard, and then let's get into what you guys maybe came here for, which is like the housing and the lifestyle, which if you've lived in the Briargate area, that's a great thing. I have clients from Lifetime from 10, 15 years ago that live in the Briargate area that have a home that they built in 1990, and they've been there since the beginning of time, right? Since Briargate really first hit the map. But then you can go into master plan communities like Cordera or Wolf Ranch, where you can get a brand new home, semi-custom home, whatever you're looking for. And the price ranges are really going to be all over the map. You can get older homes with brick, which I really like brick aesthetics of homes here in Colorado Springs because we just don't get them very many places. And you can get brand new builds. It just really depends on what style you're looking for. But the price ranges, because we have apartments and townhomes and condos and single family homes, are going to vary drastically.
And I think that's a huge plus, right, you guys? Because there's not a lot of places that will give you like an entry-level $350,000 condo or a townhome. Briargate allows you to do that. But you can also, like Sean just said, like a semi-custom we're building with clients right now in Wolf Ranch, and it's a semi-custom house. It's going to be just a tad under $1 million. And that is one thing that I absolutely love. And I also think that that's another reason why so many people are attracted to it, is because you can get a condo, a townhome. You can get $1 million freaking house, right? And you're still very much in the proximity of everything, which is really, really nice.
Yeah, and to compare two neighborhoods, just because she brought up Wolf Ranch is an amazing community. It's been around for several years now, but it's still developing. They're not done yet. It has a freaking lake. You can go out there and paddleboard on it. You can't bring a boat, nothing motorized. And I don't think you can legally swim in it either, but it's amazing. It's one of the closest places that you can really find a body of water in the Colorado Springs area. The new build homes, the walkability in terms of like trails and little parks and things in the community is amazing. And then you can go to an area down the street off of, Research and Powers, like Fairfax. And Fairfax is like older Briargate, It's those brick style homes that I personally really like. It's established, but those homes have been there for 20 years. So you're going to get two totally different lifestyles within a 5-minute drive, really right across the street from one another. So Briargate is very cool and diverse in that aspect. I really enjoy it.
Yeah, well, and it's a huge attractor, right? With the lake, I was gonna interrupt you, but I didn't want you to lose your train of thought. Like the lake, you're not supposed to like swim or anything in it, but we are landlocked, you guys. There's no water. If I could have the perfect place to live, I would just need like a beach or a really big lake right by where I'm living, and then I'd be perfect here in Colorado. But we don't have that. So the little lake, as silly as it sounds from someone who was born and raised here in Colorado, walking around it does there's a sense of energy that it just calms you. And so it's like, even though you can't necessarily like go jump in and swim, I do believe that they restock it with fish, which is freaking amazing.
They do.
And you can take paddle boards out there or anything that's like non-motorized. And so it's really nice just to have that in your neighborhood. Like, that's crazy.
And one of the biggest things, since we're talking about kind of like the housing aspect of it, that we hear from out-of-state people looking to move here all the time, which if that's you, reach out to us, 719-238-1771. We're happy to help you, happy to shop you around, show you all the neighborhoods, all the things. But we talk about school districts. And one of the most common questions that we get is, where do I have to live to get access to School District 20? I would say from viewers reaching out to us, it's probably the most asked about school district in Colorado Springs, and it's asked about for obviously all the right reasons. It is a phenomenal school, and if you talk to the students or the parents or the athletes or anyone that goes to a District 20 school, I would say more times than not, they're always going to be extremely satisfied.
Well, and there's so many of them, you guys. I mean, because Briargate is big. Like, I mean, it's a huge service area. And so that's a great thing, is that you do have a ton of different schools, and District 20 has done a really good job. Now, our kids, just like full transparency of, of what we can actually talk about, because everything else is just kind of subjective. But
boundaries.
Sean and I have, 2 older kiddos, and they did not go to District 20. But I will say that we've had so many friends and family members that do go to District 20, and there are tons of different school types. So you have your Montessori, you have your traditional schooling, you have prep schooling, your charter school.
Charter school?
Yeah, I couldn't think of the word, but there's a lot of charter school options in District 20. There is homeschool, and then half homeschool and then half in-class stuff. So District 20 does a great job with really diversifying the options, because let's face it, every kid is not the same. Every kid is not going to learn the same. I mean, funny enough, Sean and I were literally just talking at lunch how him and I are very, very different. Our brains work differently. Our thought processes work differently. It's the same thing with our kids, right? To where, I mean, even Kaylee and Preston, our kiddos are complete opposite. They learn different. Some things they really strive in, others they don't. So when it comes to District 20, they've done a great job with figuring out okay, what is the needs of what people are wanting? We're going to create a school for that. This is what we're going to dive into. So,
well, and again, speaking from my past, when I was the fitness manager at Lifetime, again, 10 years ago, that is one of the things that parents would come to us about, is they would want to get their kids involved into personal training, because they were very sports specific, whether it was volleyball or basketball or football. And again, that's something that people that reach out to us ask about. They're like, hey, I have a student athlete kiddo who's looking to do X, Y, and Z. Is District 20 going to be able to develop them the way that they need to be developed in terms of athletics? If they work with me, yes, absolutely. They're going to be a monster. No, I'm just kidding. But yes, District 20 is great, and they are highly rated in a lot of the sports aspects as well.
Well, and if you guys ever have questions, because we can't give you subjects that we can't really give you full information on, just because it's very subjective.
I was going to say, it's subjective.
I mean, we just said it. What may be important to you probably might not be important to us, and vice versa. But we can give you some different sites that you can do your own due diligence and your research on. So if that's something that you're interested in, drop us a comment below, and we'll definitely make sure that you get the information that you need, or the resources to be able to get the information that you need.
All right, I'm going to hit you blindly. We haven't talked about this. What would you say your top 2 or 3 favorite areas in Briargate are, whether they're outdoor, indoor, family friendly, adult friendly? Where would be your 3 go-to places, or somewhere around there?
I would probably say the park, for sure.
Which one?
The one that I can't, John.
JV. I always call it JV Park. It's John Venetia.
Yeah, that one. Just because I think it's super good for all aspects, no matter what we're doing. And then I'd probably say here, Shops at Briargate, because we can I can go shopping at Bed Bath & Beyond or Sephora or all.
Bed Bath & Beyond?
Or Bed Bath & not Beyond, Bed Bath &
Get out of here. Bath & Body Works?
Yes,
Get out. Bed Bath & Beyond was closed down years ago.
The wrong one. Lululemon. We can go to Bad Daddy's, get a perfect margarita, or is that what it's called? Where
it was the perfect margarita.
They'll only allow you to have 2. But I like this little area too. What about you?
Well, I was you jumped me, and you jumped on the Promenade Shops. But the reason the Promenade Shops, I'm going to name 3 stores for you right now. They're my favorites, and I go there all the time.
Lulu.
And?
Apple.
Oh, snap. She called all 3 of them. They have the Apple store here. I got to go get all my Apple stuff because, it's like a cult.
I mean, it's bad, you guys, that the sales guy was there for so many years that he knew exactly what we wanted and what we wanted every single year.
He goes to Lifetime now. I say hi to him every morning.
But he's no longer with Apple.
He's not with Apple anymore. So, yes, the Apple store.
I get him into real estate, actually. I need to have a conversation with him.
So, the Apple store, Lululemon, and what was the third one? Nike. Oh, of course, Nike. Yeah, Nike. Those are my 3 favorite stores in the Promenade Shops. Fun fact, actually not so fun fact, sad fact, there was an Italian restaurant here. We don't have very many Italian places here, I wouldn't say.
You don't even like Italian, so we don't ever go.
As I'm the one bringing up the Italian and the Italian food, but the restaurant was named Biaggi's. I can literally see it from right here. But sadly, they closed permanently because there was some sort of flooding problem with the building. But honestly, besides that, the shops that stay here in the Promenade Shops stick around for a long time. The only other place I can think of that closed was California Pizza Kitchen, and they opened a restaurant, which I think we just mentioned it, My Neighbor Felix. I'm pretty sure that was the same spot.
You know what other area that I like though too is back east. We used to go there when we worked at Lifetime. We would go there for lunch a lot just because it was super close. We haven't went there as much anymore, but the great thing is it's very much community based. They have live bands all the time. Like Sean had already mentioned, they are
TV for sports.
They do have TVs. They have dartboards.
No pool table.
They're owned by local residents here, which you guys know, if you know anything by watching our channels, you know that we like to support local. And so I do like that place. It's a little loud, and Sean and I really are not big fans of like super loud and small places, but great food, great drinks, great service. And that whole little area, they have like yogurt, and then there's some other corporate
Urban Egg,
yeah. So that's also another really cool place.
All right, now cons of Briargate. You said you wouldn't live here in Briargate, so I'm gonna hit you blindly.
No, not for any reason why Briargate is where it is. I'm just super comfortable. I love where we live.
We live in Peyton, Colorado. It's a fantastic community. If you'd like more information on that community, check out our channel or reach out 719-238-1771. We cover all areas near Colorado Springs. But I'm still going to hit you with the question, cons of Briargate. What would you say?
Cons?
I have one off the top.
What?
I feel like there's areas of Briargate, because Crystal said Promenade Shops, it's very clean. I do feel like there's areas of Briargate that do not get as much attention, and that's everywhere in any community, right? Like there's always going to be a spot where it feels a little bit not as well kept. And I do feel like there's little areas and pockets of Briargate, and like the older, more historic districts of Briargate that are usually super cute and charming, that I just feel like are not getting enough attention, whether it's from the city with the streets and the roads or whatever it might be. And I would just love to see Briargate remain one of the communities that is just always well kept and talked about in a positive way.
Yeah, but I don't think it's not anything that's like a concern or anything. I think that probably with Briargate, because there are so many different pockets, so you have established neighborhoods and then you have brand new communities, and that could be good or bad, kind of depending on like what you're looking for or what you're wanting. But
and one of the reasons I bring it up too is actually we were showing clients virtually from out of state that were looking in this area, and they had mentioned the same thing. They were like, hey, like, why does this area look a little bit different than this area? And again, you kind of have to be here to see it or talk to someone that's been here for a little while to understand what that exactly means. But yes, there are older districts of Briargate, and there's brand new districts of Briargate, so those are going to look a little bit different.
Yeah, so it's just, I think that would be like a con, right? Like, to kind of sum up what Sean's saying is basically like, because it is so big and there's so many different pockets, that could be a con. You know, there's apartments, and then there's $1 million houses. Well, and especially you're really close, like you're on the next street.
Yeah, and especially if you're shopping from out of state, that might not be something you're super familiar with. So again, reach out to us, 719-238-1771. We do video tours for clients out of state all the time. We'll fly up the drone. We'll get you all the footage that you need to know if you can't make it here, to make sure that you're making a comfortable decision for you and your family. How did we not talk about the Gold's Gym parking lot back in the day? That's like 15 years ago. Union Square, what is it called? Union
Square, yeah, or Union something, but yeah. But Gold's Gym isn't there anymore. Now it's awesome.
I know, we were talking about different areas, and it just struck my brain. Crystal used to run the Gold's Gym in Briargate.
Yep, and they have an amazing little corner bar, good company. That also is really cool because they do have live bands. They try to support super local there too. And they just expanded their like dance floor band area. And they have an outdoor patio area. That is one thing that I love about Briargate too, that you'll find outdoor patios kind of all within this area, which is not in every area, I would say.
You like how this was the cons section of Briargate? Like, I really can't think of anything that like I truly dislike. The one thing that I did mention, like, there's different districts. You're going to see a different age and different character in the Briargate region, but like, I really can't think of any cons.
No. Now, so as you guys can see, we can literally talk about Briargate all day long, but we need to wrap this up. So as you guys know, we're local real estate agents. We are here to help you if you are relocating here to Colorado Springs. You have questions. You want to know what's in Briargate. You want to know the housing. You want to know the list of open houses. You want to know what condo you can get for $350,000 in the Briargate area. You know how to get a hold of us, 719-238-1771. And until next time, we will see you then.
I got to go to Lulu. I got to go to Nike. I already went to Ted's, so I'm just going to go explore now. So we'll see you guys later.